Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, hit up one of my local thrift stores and my local Ollie's where I got myself some great titles, so let's take a look at everything I got. So the first store I hit up today was one of my local thrift stores called Cash Converters. A great store that unfortunately I just don't get to as much as I used to, but since I was driving by it today, I definitely had to stop by. All their DVDs and their Blu-rays were actually on sale. All the Blu-rays were marked down to $4.99 and all their DVDs were marked down to only $1.99. A great deal. Unfortunately, I don't know how long the sale's been going on because their Blu-rays were pretty well picked through. They had a decent selection, just unfortunately movies that I just did not want to really upgrade to or that I already had on Blu-ray. So unfortunately, I only ended up picking up one Blu-ray, and that was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Now this is a blind buy. I really know very little about this. In fact, even when it came out, I remember not hearing much about it, really didn't hear any reviews on it. And the reviews that I did look up online were very mixed. I read some positive and I read some negative, so not quite sure what I'm going to think of this movie. And no, I've never seen the original, though I'd really like to. But I definitely had to pick it up for only $4.99. I was very interested in seeing it, and hopefully it's at least somewhat decent. Then I picked up 3 DVDs, and the first one was Deer Hunter. Finally got myself a DVD copy of this. I do already have the movie on HD DVD and on Laserdisc, but I wanted to get myself a copy that wasn't on such an obscure format. Really wanted to get myself either a DVD or a Blu-ray copy, and finally got it. I actually almost passed up on this, not because I didn't want to get it, but because I looked right by it, because this cover art threw me. I've actually never seen this cover art to the Deer Hunter before, and I do know what this is now. This is actually the second to last release of this movie. There is a newer release right now, and this is the one that was out before that. I just hadn't ever seen this artwork, and I just thought maybe it was like a hunting DVD or something. It wasn't until I actually really looked at it. In fact, even when I saw it said the Deer Hunter, I still thought this was a hunting DVD or something, until I flipped it over the back, saw pictures of the cast, and then I realized, oh, this is the actual movie. So for $1.99, I definitely had to pick it up, and I've never watched the movie, and I know, I am ashamed to say that. I know this is apparently a brilliant movie. I've seen nothing but fantastic reviews on this. I read great reviews on this movie all the time, and I know it's a classic. I just never got around to watching it. I really do want to check out my HD DVD copy really soon. In fact, as soon as the holidays are over, I think I'll be watching it. It's just a movie I really need to get around to watching. Again, I am ashamed that I've never seen The Deer Hunter, so now that I have it on DVD, Laserdisc, and HD DVD, I'm going to have to check it out ASAP. And the next title I picked up was Metro. This here's one I've been looking for a while now. Every time I come across this used at a pawn shop, thrift store, flea market, it is always scratch the hell, and I never come across this new. So I've definitely been on the lookout for this for a while now. I hear it's a great movie. I love Eddie Murphy, and it's definitely something I've been wanting to check out. So for $1.99, definitely had to pick it up today. And the last title I picked up from Cash Converters was G.I. Joe, Valor vs. Venom, which is another title I've been looking for a good long while now. This is another title that every time I come across it used, it is always scratched. So coming across it today in a great shape, I definitely had to pick it up. And if I'm not mistaken, this actually finishes off all my animated G.I. Joe movies. I do believe I have every one now, so very excited about that. Definitely love completing collections. So after Cash Converters, I headed over to my local Ollie's bargain outlet where I picked up 2 titles, and the first one I grabbed was The Very Best of Sabrina, the animated series. Now this I definitely had to pick up, as it was listed at only 99 cents. And for a 2-disc set, that is an amazing deal. Now I do realize that volumes of this have just been recently released. In fact, I believe only volume 1's been released. Hopefully we'll see more volumes. But this actually contains some episodes that have not been released on volume 1 yet, so I definitely had to pick this up. And then I saved what I definitely feel is the best for last. For only $4.99 I picked up the Martin Scorsese Collection. This comes with Who's Knocking at My Door, Mean Streets, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, After Hours, and Goodfellas. Now, I do already have Goodfellas, and I do already have Mean Streets on DVD. Actually, I believe I have Goodfellas on Blu-ray and Mean Streets on DVD, but regardless, I had to pick this up, especially for After Hours. That's one I've wanted to see for a while now. And, what is it, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore and Who's Knocking at My Door? I actually almost bought those for $3 a piece the other day. I saw them at my local Big Lots, almost grabbed them, but for whatever reason I passed up on them. Very glad I did, seeing as again, I only got this for $4.99. That was definitely a steal, and I can't wait to check out the 3 titles that I haven't watched yet. So that's it for what I bought today, so now onto what I watched. And today I checked out the 1984 telling of A Christmas Carol. Every holiday season, I do try to watch one of the many, many tellings of the story. Hadn't seen this one yet, so I definitely had to check it out. And it was great. I absolutely loved it. Now, I don't think I need to get into the story. I'm sure we all are very, very well aware of A Christmas Carol. We all know the story probably by heart. If for any reason you haven't seen one of the many, many, many tellings of the story, stop watching my video, get out from underneath your rock, go out and buy yourself one of the many versions and just watch it. You'll absolutely love it. It's a classic for a reason. I absolutely love A Christmas Carol. And again, this was a great telling of it. George C. Scott did a great job as Scrooge. I really enjoyed his performance. Thought he was great, very stingy, just a great, great portrayal of him. But what I really enjoyed actually in this was all the different spirits. They just seemed a bit more crueler and just a little bit more evil than I'm used to seeing. And in other versions, I've seen very cruel and very evil spirits, but in this one, they just seem to be a little bit more cruel, and I really like that. Especially the ghost of Christmas Present. He was just an ass, and I loved it, because that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a bit of a dick, because he's kind of sticking it to Scrooge, kind of just, giving him jabs every now and then to be like, hey, Scrooge, you're kind of an asshole, and I'm going to point it out to you, and I really, really like that. It was probably the best portrayal of the ghost of Christmas Present that I've ever seen in any telling of A Christmas Carol. Really enjoyed it. Now, I would have to say that this story didn't really offer anything too good, though. It was just another great telling of the story. Nothing necessarily special. I wouldn't say this is one you definitely have to see. Not necessarily, but if you are a fan of the story, it is definitely one to check out then, because it was really well done. They do take some liberties here and there. They do change some things up, make it their own story at times. I mean, I'd say 99% of this is just the classic telling, but there are little tweaks here and there that I really did enjoy. So, again, I would definitely say if you are a fan of A Christmas Carol, it is certainly one to see. I highly recommend it. Everybody was great in it. Very, very well done. But if you're not some big Christmas Carol fan, you don't necessarily have to see it. There are many different renditions of this movie out there. Most of them are all great. I would just say, hey, at least check out one or watch your favorite. It's a great, great story. But this was fantastic, and if you are thinking about checking it out, I would definitely recommend seeing it. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Definitely got some great titles from my local cash converters and my local Ollies. Definitely looking forward to checking all those titles out. And also watching the 1984 telling of A Christmas Carol. It was great. Absolutely loved it. Again, everybody was fantastic in it, especially George C. Scott. He was great. And if you are a fan of A Christmas Carol, I would definitely recommend checking out that version. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. Now, I do really realize that I believe it's not Shout. This is actually by Shout. I think it is, I don't know. So after I was done at Cash Converters, headed over to my local Ollie's Bargain Outlet where I picked up 2 titles. And the first one I grabbed was The Very Breast. Eesh.